So, one of our members, Andrew Miller, who I always go to when I've got a bit of an idea, I like to soundboard it with him. He's brilliant. And he's like, yeah, that's what you're doing. And then asks me great questions. So, this is one of the questions: why success rarely feels like success. I'm going to hand over to him now, and he's going to share some of his insights around how to enjoy your business more fully and enjoy your life too. So, over to you, Andrew.
Thank you very much. And yeah, less about me giving insights, more about getting you to come up with your insights, get you to think about a few things. And then we're going to roll into a breakout room where you're going to have some discussions. And as Jill mentioned at the start, really, um, a hidden way of getting you to meet everybody and get to know everyone, but also get you to think about a few things as well. So I want to start off with getting you to think about something and have a think about when you achieved something that at the time felt really important. It might be a qualification, a promotion, the first client in your business, the first time you hit 100 grand in a year, might be the first employee, that TEDx talk you did, maybe you got your dream house. Think about something that you achieved that was really important to you at the time. And then just take a moment to have a think, how long did it take before it became nothing more than, at best, an anecdote or a line in your LinkedIn profile? Because it's quite amazing how quickly yesterday's dream becomes today's normal. And that's not a problem. That's not failure. That's not an issue. That's called being human. It's quite normal. And what I see with business owners tend to be two types that sort of I find tend to be in one of two places, both of which have pros and cons. But it's worth thinking about where you might be and what you can pick out from it and what you can shift and change. So the most common type of business owner is someone who's always spending their life chasing the next thing. So where's the next client? What's the next milestone? What's the next breakthrough? What's the next version of myself doing better, being better? And there can be great satisfaction in that space because it can be easy to create clarity. You see, struggle creates focus. So let me explain what I mean by that. And I'll give you an extreme example to illustrate. So in my corporate years, I used to be an insolvency practitioner. So my job was to run businesses that had gone bust, keep them going, and hopefully sell them. When I moved into the coaching space, it was originally helping those sort of business owners going through such challenges, but to help them to cope from an emotional point of view, as well as the business itself. And here's the thing. Well, once they'd got over the emotional traumas caused by losing their business, most owners became very clear about what they wanted to do. Because when you're at the bottom, you can only go in one direction. And it comes very easy. Over time, my client base expanded and I rebranded as Business Enjoyment. And I work with all business owners at all levels of success. And normally when you talk to someone, they're usually pretty clear about what they wanted next. And it was whatever they didn't have enough of right now. So it's like, I don't have enough money, so my goal is get more money. I don't have enough time, so I get more time, and so on. And so the drive comes from a place of lack, of something missing, of something wrong, which over time can chip away at your levels of satisfaction. And when that's going on and keeps going on, it leads to discontent with where you are, and you're always looking to be somewhere else. So this underlying belief starts forming that success will bring things to me. It will bring me happiness, meaning, identity, self-worth, recognition, impact, freedom. And whatever that thing is that you're seeking, the belief is that more success will bring more of that thing. And that's where things sort of get interesting, because if you imagine like you're walking towards the horizon's always visible, but no matter how far you walk, it keeps moving. And you can spend your entire life chasing it, and never actually get there. And so what these business owners have actually done is create a treadmill for themselves. And if you're to ask them, it's very often the actual reason why they don't work for somebody else in the first place and set up their own business. So the one thing they've been trying to avoid, they've actually created in their own business. Hence why you get plenty of business owners who aren't happy with where they actually are and are actually never really happy no matter where they get to. Because the truth is they don't actually know what they really want other than away from where they currently are. So there's always this shade of negativity flowing through the whole thing. So that's one type of business owner. And maybe you know somebody like that. But there is another type. And these are people who know exactly what they want and why. So their purpose is clear. Their reasoning and motivation is clear. Full on clarity and drive. And the danger here is that they actually achieve it. And this is often the less discussed area. What do you do if you actually get everything you ever wanted? Take, for example, the main goal of many people to become financially free. The thing is, financial freedom solves the problem of needing money. What it doesn't do is tell you what you're going to do on a Tuesday morning. Because the thing is, when you get what you want, the next day still has 24 hours. You still brush your teeth, you still decide what to have for breakfast, you still wonder what to do next. Life doesn't suddenly shift and change, become a different film. You've still got to work out what you do on a day-to-day business basis. So the biggest issue of actually being successful is the thing that gave you direction and motivation has disappeared. And society celebrates getting there with very little attention being paid to living there. So winning isn't the hard part, living after the win is. And to quote, amongst others, Hans Gruber from Die Hard, and so Alexander wept for he had no more worlds to conquer. Apparently not, that's not the actual original quote, which that's what he said in Die Hard. So there you go. So let's use the sailing analogy to compare the two concepts of business owners. So you can either have if you're sailing, you can either have a direction, which is a compass heading, or you can have a specific destination, a port. So if your whole life is built around ports, then every arrival creates a problem because you need another port to go to. If your life is built around a compass bearing, then reaching a port changes very little. You simply keep traveling with no real end in sight. So once you've established what you mean by success, then the real question isn't, how do I become successful? The proper question you should be asking is, what am I hoping success will give me? For example, money is rarely about money. It might be about safety or choice, whatever it might be. Achievement is rarely about achievement, but usually about validation from others. Freedom is rarely about freedom. It might be about peace of mind or something like that. What we need to be thinking here is, what if we've been trying to solve emotional questions with practical achievements? So success is not the villain. Achievement is not the problem. Growth is not the enemy. The issue is expecting them to do a job that they were actually never designed to do. Success can buy freedom, but it can't tell you what freedom is for. Success can create opportunity. It can't decide what matters and what's important. And success can open doors, but it can't choose which one you walk through. So just give you some deep philosophical questions to have a think about here. So what I'm going to do is Alan's going to set up some breakout rooms. I don't know how many we're going to have in each one, but I'm going to give you a couple of questions to think about. So apply it to your own situation, and in your groups discuss whichever one's relevant to you. Don't have to be the same. So if you're still pursuing a significant milestone, what are you hoping that milestone will actually give you? Deep down, beneath the obvious instant gratification, what's the real reason for achieving that milestone? Flip side, if you've already achieved many of the things that you once wanted, what gives you direction now that achievement is no longer enough? So if you're pursuing a significant milestone, what are you hoping the next milestone will give you? And if you've achieved many of the things you once wanted, then what gives you direction now that achievement is no longer enough? Pick whichever one works for you, and then discuss them in your groups.